Hi everybody! For those who don't know me, my name is Juliet and I am Vietnamese at IMVU. And this is my third tutorial and I'll be teaching you guys how to draw or edit eyes, whatever you like to call it. And if you're wondering how I do it, just continue to watch and you'll see. Alrighty then, let's get started. Okay, first you want to make sure your screen is open. And sorry if the screen is bald, I didn't want it to have any hair that's in the way so that I can clearly show you guys how I edit eyes. And change the background color if you want to be able to see it. And also make sure the screen is cropped to 160 pixels by 220 pixels. And also feel free to adjust it to your liking. You can rotate it or whatever. Now you want to start picking up the skin color around the eyes, so using the eyedropper tool, or if you're on Paint Tool side and if your tablet pen is already accustomed to the program, you can just use the buttons on your stylus to pick up the color. Now use your brush tool around the sizes of 10 to 12, depends on you, and use the skin tone to paint around the eyes. Now sometimes it's a lot of makeup on this screenie's eyes, it's okay. In this case, I just decided to leave some behind just to show you guys the basic eye shape I am willing to actually draw over. And you can actually cover up most of it, but just make sure you have the actual eye shape so you don't mess up on anything. Alright, now after that step, pick about 3 to 4 shades of gray. It doesn't really matter, but I usually pick around 3 just because. And this will be the starting of your actual eyes, and this will be the whites of your eyes. Make a new layer and name the layer eyes, and then start coloring the eye shape with the darkest gray you got on your palette. Now use the darkest gray and cover up the entire eye. Just make sure not to cover up the makeup either because you're going to need that as an outline. And also, sort of like makeup in real life, but not really makeup in this case. But whatever you do with one eye, you have to do with the other. Also, I forgot to let you guys know that I am using the brush tool mostly throughout this entire video. Otherwise, I will state on what brushes to use or whatever. After that, take the next light shade and color in the middle and carefully blend from the middle and out. And also take the next lightest gray and also start from the middle, but this time you'd have to blend out just a bit less. And if you want, you can zoom out just to check. Now once you're done with the whites of your eyes, make another layer and you can name it whatever you want, but this will be the start of your irises. Sorry, I just forgot what I was going to say for a second. I lost my train of thought. In this case, I chose the darkest teal color since I wanted to make blue eyes, but if you want, you can choose any color eye you want to your liking, and pick out 4 to 5 shades of the color. Now use your brush tool, start drawing circles in the middle of the eyes, and depending on the size of the eyes, the circles will actually vary. And be sure to adjust the placement if you have to. Okay, now take the next lightest shade on your color palette, the eye color, and start drawing like a smiley or a U shape on the eyes. And this should be probably halfway down from the actual eye itself, if that makes any sense. And also be sure that you're on the same layer as the iris. Then take the next lightest shades and make your smiley shade smaller as you get towards the lightest shade of your eye color. After that, on the same exact layer of your iris, take the pen tool and change the color to a black. And also make sure the size is around 3 or 4. Doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not way too big or tiny. And start drawing in your pupil. And also, the bigger the pupils, the more innocent the eyes would look. After that, make a new layer and still using the pen tool, make the size to 0.701. It just has to be very small, and start drawing a white dot on each of the eyes. This will be the light reflecting off the eyes. Also change the mode to luminosity to make the dots shine a bit more. After that, make a new layer and take the marker tool and set the mode to overlay. And sweep the marker across the eyes like in a curve-like motion. This will make your eyes shine and appear to look wet or moist. And after you do that, make another layer and take the brush tool and set it to a size 3 or 4 and outline the top of the eye with black. This will be like the cast shadow that casts over the eye. After you do that, take the watercolor or water tool and start blending out the black just to smooth out the harsh edges, and this will actually help make your eyes not look so wide open and creepy. This is optional, but you can name the layer if you want to. And after that, make sure to take the overlay layer and the white dot layer and put it on top of this casting shadow layer. That's so that the shine and the little white dots will show up a bit more. Now make a new layer and name it lashes. And this will be the start of your lashes, your eyelashes. And so you take the brush tool and change the size to 1. And using a black color, start drawing in the lashes by doing a sweeping motion upwards and downwards for both top and bottom lashes. And you can also use the inversion button at the top of the menu and flip the screen in reverse so that it helps you do the other side of the eye. And also keep in mind that lashes are drawn thick to thin. Now I forgot to show you guys how to draw the makeup before the lashes, but that's okay. I have to show you guys. Basically, just make a new layer and name it eye makeup. And take your marker tool and make it a size 3. And using black, draw like a C shape around both of the eyes. Now the makeup was a bit too thick, so I had to use the eraser tool and erase out any harsh edges. But since the screen already had a bunch of makeup on, I decided to actually erase out the makeup a lot more than I should. But that's because the lashes weren't really showing through, so that's why I erased it. And I thickened up the lashes just in case this happens. So just thicken up the lashes whenever the makeup is way too noticeable. Now after the makeup, take the pen tool and set it to a size 1. And also using white, start drawing in lines in the corners of the eyes. And make sure to draw outwards. Also take the watercolor tool to smooth out the harsh edges and set the layer to luminosity, luminosity, and lower the opacity so it's not too bright. Now this is optional and it's usually always the part that I always forget when it comes to DP editing, but you can add in a weird darkish pink or a pale red into the inner corners of the eye, and this is pretty much what a lot of artists use in their DP, but I just don't do it because I always tend to forget. And as for the eyebrows, I took the brush tool and picked up the skin color of the forehead and just simply drew over it while it's on the screening layer, and pretty much just make sure to blend it out well, and be sure not to over blend or else you might end up making the forehead look really funny. And unfortunately there was no hair since the screening is bald, so I just took a black, but usually whenever you do eyebrows it should be the base color of the hair, but in this case I just used black. So using the brush tool, make it around 3 to 5 in size and start drawing in the eyebrows. Depending on the theme or expression of the DP, you can make the eyebrows arched or not. And the more arched the eyebrows, the more sassy or evil looking the DP looks. And in this case, I want her to look innocent and kawaii. And also be sure that you're on another layer and name it brows.
but if the eyebrows like far apart, the nose will obviously look bigger, and the forehead will look bigger too.
Okay, I'll just show you that. And also for a tip, the more closer to the eyebrows, the more narrow the nose would look, and the more further apart, the more wider the nose would look. Also, be sure that the eyebrows aren't too far up or far down. So just be sure to adjust it to your liking, and you can rotate it if you'd like as well. And also erase any harsh edges like I have right here. It usually happens whenever you're using the brush tool, but it's completely okay. Just be sure to erase out the harsh edges. Once you're done, save your work and always double check, and also practice, 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 practice. I cannot stress on how much that's so important to do. Be sure to message me if you have any questions or comments, and also you can also message me through IMVU or YouTube messaging. And also, that's about it. Thank you for watching, and also most importantly, have fun and good luck.